Hi guys.
Hi.
Guys, like we have 0 viewers. There was 1 viewer, they left.
It's okay.
Let's just talk about how you guys feeling right now.
Excited.
Last time. Okay, guys, what do you think of this platform of businesses that chat? What do you think of it?
I'm excited. I've never been part of a panel, and this is a very great experience to be sitting and talking around business with women. You know, women that I know, women that I've seen. You know, just showing me how everybody can do it. You know, so it's exciting.
So yeah, Cabbage is running late because she's doing makeup, and then Panetu won't be joining us. I can't find her. So I don't know. Should we wait for Cabbage for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes before we start? Or must we start?
Yeah, I think we can wait, guys. I have a suggestion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yo, can we like go somewhere after this live?
I have a date after
Yo,
this.
can we like meet up for drinks?
I have a date after this.
Oh, something.
What do I have a date? Eh, but
You have a date.
Oh, my guys, no.
Okay, obviously Zulu's out, so I'm coming to Green Hills after.
Come down. I need
Take
a
it or
shot of
leave it.
something.
Eh?
Yo, we're going through the most, I'm telling you.
So, Mo, you can see who's on and who's not, ne?
Like the viewers.
We only have 1 viewer, and I think that's
And
Zulu's out, so I'm coming to Green Hills after.
Echo. Miss Jones,
Eh?
is there an echo on your side?
Yeah, it's because I'm also live. Should I just log out? Like
Yes,
I'm. Well, okay. All right, I'm gonna log out then.
Yeah, I think it's on the echo.
Okay, cool. I'm not on Facebook anymore.
Okay. Oh, guys, we have 2 people. Somebody loved it. Thank you. So, yeah, but it's okay. You can make us better.
I guess if they wanna join, they should go to your page, right? To your Facebook page.
I've shared the live so they can also see it on my feed. So I think you guys can also share it. So
yeah, I would do that.
Yes, share it on your timelines.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay. Tulu, where is your date taking you? Where are you guys going? Is it something fancy? You on mute. Mute. We can't hear you.
On a Facebook Live, you want me to tell everybody where my date is taking me?
Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching.
But they can watch it later. That's the thing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's late.
Okay, can we talk about our restaurants open, guys? Are dates here? Are they open?
Yes, they are.
Open.
Oh, but they're not selling alcohol.
Well, depends where you go. No alcohol. No.
Okay.
Yo. It's needed.
How is it going, Kakyab?
I can't wait to put them again. Let me try it again.
Do you want us maybe to start and then she'll catch on later?
Eric can move phone now and then I can you restart the ones. Jabulile has phones. I don't know what's going on.
I'm here.
Oh.
No, not Bev.
Guys, Hi, almost already.
She's at work.
Oh.
I would love to drink Bev at this moment in time.
Hey, bro.
Okay, guys. Hook on your guy.
Didn't she maybe go and...
once Pukwan is back, then we're gonna start.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm here.
So I'm going to start. Ladies, thank you for being part of Business in the Chat. I'm excited about this Business in the Chat session, webinar, vibes. So I think I'm going to be doing more of these and like get interesting topics around business, to engage with people, because I'm one who likes to engage with people who are in business. So let me just formally introduce myself. So for those who don't know me, my name is Moleboheng Matipile. I am the face behind solute. I'm a strategic consultant for solute. This whole journey started off when, I was fortunate enough to meet people who are in business, and they would ask for my expertise, for my advice, for my ideas. And most of them would be like, why don't you be a consultant? And I was like, I'm not sure about that. But then here we are, 2021, and I decided to start this whole solute thing. And what enhanced my, I don't know how to put it, my natural ability to come up with ideas and concepts was my corporate experience at Prime Media in Store. So I was in the marketing and research department, and later moved to the strategic insights department, where I was fortunate enough to work with prominent leading brands such as your Nestle, your Clover, Unilever, Colgate, just to name a few, and to work with top retail chains, your Pick and Pay Liquor, Spar, Clicks. So the reason for Business is the Chat is I wanted to learn more about different industries, their challenges, business highs, and I wanted to know why certain individuals or entrepreneurs chose to do what they do, and so they can share their business journeys, and hopefully they will inspire aspiring entrepreneurs. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our first guest speaker, Jabulile. Will you please introduce yourself, the Queen, and share a bit about what you do?
Hi guys. My name is Dabulile Primrose Zulu, and I'm a founder of Indlovukazi Raising Queens, which is initial initiative to empower young women in our society, mostly Black women, if I may say, because I believe that there's a lot where we can actually go forward to. But we can only do that if we are united. So Indlovukazi is actually about uniting a chain of women from different streams of life and bringing them under one umbrella and actually empowering them and helping them with their businesses, obviously, because when we gather at our seminars, we actually sit down and we gather ideas on how actually we can help each other going forward and how we can support each other, so that the next time that you've got a service that we need to use as a queen, we will definitely call you and not go anywhere else.
Thank you so much. I would like to introduce our second guest speaker, Miss Jones.
Yo, wait. My computer is freezing. Okay, can you hear me? All right, my name is Teboho CRP, and I am popularly known as Miss Jones. I'm born and bred from Bakersdale in the West Rand. I've been a DJ professionally for 14 years now. And within the DJing space, I found my love for business and entrepreneurship, because obviously DJing is seen mostly on the creative aspect of it, and a lot of artists, actually do entertain the creative aspect, fella. So that's why I saw a gap, and I realized that, oh no, but there is the business side of it. And that's when I started MJS Media and Entertainment back in 2013. It was powered by the Mosquito, I believe, foundation, together with the DJU Foundation and the what's this, NYDA. So that's when I registered the business and started operating as a legal entity. And not just, a DJ or Javi Sambatu. So I had to find a strategy where I could actually, run my administration and actually oversee my operations and market myself, and, just basic things like invoicing and giving out quotations and working on the image and the brand and stuff. So all of that is business, what you see on the streets at night is just the cherry on top. But, working behind the scenes has really expanded my knowledge of the industry as a whole, the entertainment industry. And then I ventured out into philanthropy, and then that's when I started the Girl Power Foundation, where I engaged all high schools within the West Rand, particularly in the Rand West City, just to empower, and inspire young women, just to show them that they also can do it. Doesn't matter where they're from. And then another passion that I have is in the event space. And that on its own is also business, So I am, hectically occupying that space as a female in the West Rand. And I've taken it upon myself to actually go big, So I do outdoor events. I also do corporate events. So in a nutshell, that is Miss Jones.
Thank you, Miss Jones.
I could go on.
And I welcome our third guest speaker, Tulu.
Mute.
You're on mute.
Hi everyone, I'm Tulufelo Rampaku. I'm proudly born and bred in Begesdal, and I'm the owner of Barokodi Horizons, which owns Mroa Wines. So Mroa Wines is a baby. It's still a baby that just came into realization a few months ago with the help of Mo Salute. Shout out to one of the best business consultants I know. So yeah, I've always wanted to go into business. We have ideas. We have ideas as people, and we want to grow, but sometimes you don't even know where to start. But you always have that nagging thing that said, you need to do something, you need to do something. So I decided to start with wine making. Firstly, because who doesn't love a good glass of wine every now and again? But I thought one of the things that does bring people together is taste. If we can all meet at a space where we can enjoy something that we all love, so why not have some wine while doing that, while meeting people, while branching out? So yeah, my baby is about 3-4 months old. I have 6 different types of wines, and I've been doing activations and wine tastings around Kasi and all over Facebook and everywhere, trying to see everybody's reactions. Their reactions are good, which tells me that I'm on the right track. Big things are going to happen for Mroa Wines. So I look forward to hosting everybody and, sharing a glass of wine with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Tulu. I'd like to welcome our third guest speaker, Tukwani.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So my name is Part.1 Mushitwa, and I've got a very strong, deep passion for green energy. I'm currently the general manager of Dala Consortium, which focuses on alternative and green energy projects, working together with the community property associations and mining houses, government and other stakeholders, in order to make everyone accountable according to the Paris Agreement. So one of my achievements is confirming 100 hectares of land that will be utilized to plant biomass. So biomass is basically grass, moringa, your cactus, your aloe, all that stuff is called biomass, which will produce biodiesel, which will be procured by the mining houses. So it is a very difficult space to be in, but I love challenges. Being a Black woman in an industry that is governed by white males has been really challenging emotionally, physically, everything that ends with an LY. It has been challenging, but we are here. And I believe that me stepping forward and fighting, I'm also opening a lot of doors for women that will be coming behind me, because that's what it's about. It's about creating space for everybody else to come in and for them not to experience the hardship, the barriers, the red tape that we all are experiencing right now. So I'm very excited to be engaging with you ladies, and I'm very proud of Lebo. I know it has not been an easy journey, but you are here, you're doing something, and it can only get better. You can only get better, you can only grow from here onwards. So that's just me in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. So, Vanessa was just online. I think we got disconnected. So, Javulile, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so you're gonna be touching on business challenges. Are you ready?
I just need a minute.
Or must I just Debu, can you go next while we wait for her? Yeah. You're on mute. You're on mute. We cannot hear you.
2021 proverb. You're on mute.
I'm out here trying to share links to the live feed.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you to touch base on the business challenges while we wait for Jamil. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Then you can.
Okay, so with regards to obviously the entertainment business, being a largely male, dominated field, that has been quite a challenge since I started in the industry. Just getting recognized and getting appreciated for the craft that you're responsible for has been quite one of my biggest challenges when I started. But obviously the world is changing. I've seen a lot of improvements in that field, where now men have sort of awarded us that respect that we've always fought for as women, so that inequality is not a factor anymore. So yeah, being mainly in a male dominated industry and having to constantly prove yourself and be twice as good as your male counterparts has been quite a major hurdle. And then one of the other things that I'd like to mention, obviously, would be funding. You know, if capital is a huge thing in our industry, because as you all know, that in the public eye, image is everything. So with getting gigs that pay good money is a challenge, because you don't want to work hand to mouth. So saving is quite a problem. You get promoters that are resistant in terms of, you know, paying you what you're worth, or the value that you're worth. So that's one of the things. So I would like to, you know, encourage more female entrepreneurs, particularly in the entertainment/event space, to save and try to outsource funding from it doesn't matter if it's public or the private sector, you know, just to invest back into the business, invest back into your image, your brand, take your brand seriously, and also just, you know, taking that extra mile so people can respect you as a brand more, you know, especially in this male dominated industry. So that's just, yeah, the thing. And then in the event space, more or less the same thing. You have to prove yourself, constantly prove yourself as a woman, you know, because it is seemed as a more muscular space as well. So yeah, over above that, it's been good.
Thank you so much. So, W, can you please share your business challenges and how you overcame them?
Okay, sorry about that, guys. One of the business challenges that I've had to encounter was funding, like Miss Jones said. So when you start a baby from scratch, there's a lot of doubt that is instilled in you. Can you do it? Are you going to make valuable use of the money that the government would give you, or any initiative would want to actually give you? I've had a lot of challenges with actually organizing an event, because obviously with my initiative, I host a seminar only once in the year. So when I host that seminar, I need like a lot of things. There's gotta be food. There's gotta be catering for the people that are gonna come there. Because the last thing that you want to do is invite prominent people and look like you are mediocre, and there's not nice chairs. There's not gifts that you can actually give to the people that are going to be guest speakers. So with that being said, I need to write up proposals and go to different businesses and actually sell myself to them and let them know why they deserve to actually invest in Indlovukazi, which is mostly a question of what are we going to get in return? How do we know that the money that we give you will all go into a good cause? How do we know how many people are going to attend? How sure are you of the attendees that you're going to have? And overcoming them, I've learned to do a lot of things on my own. Thank God that I can utilize myself and grab them there with a little of knowledge and wisdom from the women around me as well, that if you want something to be done, you have to do it yourself. You have to be a go-getter. In this life and era, nobody gets anything by not working hard. So I've decided to just work twice as much if I need something to be done, especially when it comes to my seminars. Other than that, it's been like a walk in the park. Obviously, there's a little bit of challenges here and there, but other than that, Indlovukazi has been doing well for the third year that I've hosted it, and all the single time I always see myself with new challenges, but I also see myself overcoming them. Maybe it's something that is just in my spirit. So yeah, that is just what the business challenges and overcoming them are in my area.
Thank you so much. Tulu, you are up next.
Okay, so being in business is challenging. It's very challenging. Being a woman in business is even more challenging, you know. So a lot of people are mentioned, Jabulila and Ms. Jones mentioned funding. Funding really is one of the biggest issues that we have to overcome, one of the biggest challenges that we have to overcome. Being in a space where I decided to start with alcohol, not many government funding is available for somebody who wants to start a business in alcohol, mainly because of the moral dilemmas that exist around alcohol. So as a person who wants to go into alcohol, you really need to rely on private funding. You know, private funding, me having to go to a bank and put up whatever collateral I have, or having to literally use my life savings or whatever salary I'm earning from my day job. So funding is a major issue, but we are working around, we are finding ways to deal with it. You know, once you do start trading, then whatever bit of money you have, it needs to go back into the business. It needs to go back into branding. It needs to go back into giving your customer the experience. You know, wine tasting for me and the love of wines is not just about drinking it. It's a whole experience. It comes with so many factors. Another challenge that I've been facing is the red tape, the regulations that come with selling and distributing an alcoholic beverage. Guys, it can be done. It can be done. We are working on it, and we are closer to the finish line. But you need to be prepared. You need to, you need to prepare yourself for a good couple of months before you can comfortably be able to sell any way you want, to distribute any way you want. Another challenge I've been having to deal with, guys, being a working mother, juggling responsibilities. I don't know if some of the ladies here who are parents are able to understand that sometimes you're faced with a decision. Do I choose to, put the business first, or do I spend time with my kids, or do I spend time with my family this weekend? Or, so as a woman, those are some of the challenges you need to think about. With the current situation that's happening also now with lockdown, whenever there's a lockdown, we know we're part of the first people, entertainment, alcohol, part of the first people to be told, listen, you sit down, you can't do anything, your business is on ice for the next couple of days. So you need to find other ways of generating some kind of income. So those are just some of the challenges that we are meeting and we are faced with these days. However, with all of these, like I said, with the challenge of funding, you go into private funding, you go into using your own collateral to fund your business. When it comes to distribution, you can't wait for a multinational to say, listen, come bring your product into my store, onto my shelves. You literally have to go stand there at the corner, stand there at the street and say, listen, I have a product for you, here's it, taste it, take it. I'd love for you to enjoy it, distribute your own product. Also, the challenge of having to take an idea and a dream and having to make it a reality, the how, the what, the where, the why. Winemaking is a very niche environment. People who make wines are there in the wine farms in Stellenbosch. I'm up here in Jersey, in the middle of the urban jungle, and having to find the right product, having to be able to supply and have a constant supply coming in. These are some of the challenges that we face, but we are overcoming them, So, yeah.
Thank you so much. That was lovely. Pupwani, you are next, my lady. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I think we all I'm listening to all the ladies. I think we all are suffering from the same thing, irrespective of the industry that you're in. But then again, I'm also thinking about, you woke up in the morning and you decided to walk this journey. So, which means you are bound to face all these challenges. Without these challenges, you cannot grow, you can't be the better person, you can't look forward to the next day. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. And it is difficult to wake up in the morning and still push. But I think the fundamental some of the standout challenges for me are networks. I'm listening to the winemaker and I'm thinking, who do you know? Who do you know? I made a phone call because I needed to see a mine manager. And this friend of mine literally said, if you don't know anybody, you are a nobody. You will stand there and make phone calls and do this and that and the other. I think I heard Ms. Jones also talk about the foundation from Oskido and all of that. It's connections. It's networks. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to sacrifice. You've got to there's somewhere somehow there's certain things that you really need to give up in order for you to be on the platform. And mentorship, I think it's also a fundamental concern, because how do you carry yourself as a woman in green energy? What do you do? I mean, I always, as you can see in the background, I always have green things. I try and get dressed in green. I'm all about speaking the green lingo and mentorship. Who's teaching you? Who's helping you? Who's saying to you, this is how you write an email? Who's saying to you, this is what you need to study when you go to the bank? This is what they look out for. Do you understand the financials? Do you understand when they say, what is your capex? What is your break even? Who's helping you? And it goes back to support. If you don't have that support, whether it be nuclear, which means mom, dad, sisters, your friends, if they don't understand the journey that you're on and what your vision and what it is that you're trying to achieve, every single thing is going to be a challenge. So it's very important to understand where you are, where you want to go, and who is going to hold your hand and help you. You've got to choose. And I have that problem where networking and being I end up being my own mentor. And sometimes it gets boring because like you're thinking, I just need somebody just to hold my hand and say, this is how you do things. And we don't have that. I think we've got a lot of platforms, guys. I think I've attended too many workshops, too many female get together, but not one has said, come, let me help you, or I am here to hold your hand and show you how things are done. Instead, you end up spending so much time doing twice the work, which you're not supposed to be doing. You're supposed to work smart. You work twice as much because there's so much that you need to cover and so much that you don't know, and you're teaching yourself. So we as we're walking along, I think it's important that we fix some of these things and we help one another. Let's help one another, because there's somewhere along the line, Lebu, you know something that I don't know. You've taught me about marketing. You've taught me about a lot of platforms that I didn't even think about. So let's help. Let's share. No one is trying to. I know with there's a stigma with Black sisters. No, it's not about that. It's about helping one another. It's about helping me take the next step. Me helping you just to change direction and to see the light in a different way. So the challenges are there. They are real. We live them each and every day. But I think let's be more realistic and more real and help one another step forward, and move a little bit further. 100%.
That's my take.
Thank you, ladies. That was amazing. Because my business challenge is, I think people don't really understand what I do, as a strategic consultant. So people are just like skeptical to reach out. So I constantly have to kind of like explain myself and how I can be of service to my target market. What I've learned is you need to be specific when you say, this is what I do and this is my target market, because you can not please everyone. And when you're running a business, guys, I didn't know that even the smallest of things can literally frustrate you. But what I like about myself, I'm constantly going out asking people for help. I'm not scared to ask for help. I'm not scared to feel like I feel stupid or I look dumb or whatever, because that's where I learn, that's where I excel, and that's where I tap into so many things that help me become a better business person. You know what I mean? So there's a topic I want us to take a deep dive, and it's close to I think to everyone. And Popani even touched base on some of the stuff I'm going to mention here. So I'm going to be sharing you some of the barriers women and female entrepreneurs face. Um, so I'm gonna mention I think four of them, né? And you guys can share your opinions, your thoughts, and how you feel about it. Number one, psychological barriers and bias against women. Some females feel that they experience sexism, and some feel that when they have to pitch to investors, they are not taken seriously. Number two, the fear of failure because you are in a male dominated industry. So women feel excluded or patronized. The lack of networking that Pokoni touched base on, and mentorship. So it's hard for women in business to get such platforms because traditionally men go to golf courses, to shooting range, to private club membership things that help them network and build relationships and get them access to whatever industry they want to get into or funding. And as you mentioned, the pool for mentorship is so small. Like, who do I go to become a strategic consultant? I have to figure things out on my own. I have to do a lot of reading. I have to do a lot of research. And some of the people that I feel like I want to reach out to, they're charging a fee. I'm not yet there to pay that fee because I'm still a startup. I'm still trying to hustle funding. You know what I mean? And juggling being a mom, running a business because it's demanding. It gets complex and it's emotionally draining and costly. And also, men don't really support women in business. It's something that I feel like it's sensitive. I don't know how, like, I think it's just a small percentage. And I feel like there's not any engagement on that. So, what's your take on the pointers I've mentioned? Anybody wants to share something? Give an opinion?
Yeah, no, I want to raise my hand first because I want to cry. So just a quick background. So what had happened is that I started. I was part of a consortium.
Oh my God.
We lost her.
Yeah.
Did we lose her?
Yes.
It's probably her network.
Yeah.
So anybody has
So I think I can jump in.
Yeah, please do. My connection is giving me issues. Please do.
Okay, Debbie,
I just want to touch on a few things that Molobogeng mentioned. Skills that are relative to me, like the challenges or barriers that I had to face being a single mom, in being able to juggle being in the entertainment industry. Obviously, my work is like your nightlife work, and it was quite tough for me to be able to actually leave the house and go to work. How do I explain to my daughter that things like that? So it took time for her to actually get used to the fact that my mom has a different kind of work. So there were some gigs that I also had to cancel on the spot because she would cry and she would talk about things like we don't spend enough time together, and obviously she comes first, so I would have to make those tough decisions, and on the flip side of the coin, what are we going to eat if I don't go out to work? You understand? So it's something that I had to sit her down and explain to her that this is work. It is different, but it is work. I didn't choose it. It chose me. And that is the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I believe that it chose me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have, gone through all the challenges and overcome them in the 14 years that I've been a DJ and an events, specialist. Another thing also, just general support, I had to prove myself here at home that what I was doing was of good credibility, it was something that had substance. So I had to prove myself. I had to do things right. I had to have a lot of discipline with regards to how I conduct myself and where I go, what I choose to, how I choose to behave in the public, and also bringing back the moolah. I had to bring back the money. They had to see the money here at home to see that this is actually work. Because a lot of parents are not exposed to such. I took an unconventional career path. So I had to make it look as authentic as possible. So, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. So, I fully understand what you're saying, Jones. As women, there's so many challenges that we have to face. You could take one of my male peers and have him do the same business. The requirements for him wouldn't be the same. He doesn't need to look a certain way. He doesn't need to speak a certain way. He doesn't need to be likable. It's just about his brand. But when it comes to me as a female, all these things now start to stack up. You get somebody asking me if they want to buy some wines, like, okay, then they'll be asking me, do the wines come with you? And I'm like, okay.
Right. Sexual discrimination. Yeah.
Okay, like, no, they don't come with me. I'm offering a product, and my product is the wine, and you either buying the wine or you're not. So as a woman, there's so many things that you have to deal with. Also, the fear of failing, like I'm saying, because there's so many things stacked up against you, so many things that you need to be cognizant of. It makes failing so much harder, so much, it's difficult. It's difficult to be a woman in business. It really is. Also being a parent, being a parent, you need to put yourself last. You need to put yourself last. It's your kids, it's your family, it's the business, and then you come after. And with us as women, we still want to do everything. We still want to have families. We still want to we want to be there for everybody. Our cups are always spilling into other people and not necessarily ourselves all the time. Also with being in the kind of space that I'm in, which is alcohol, you've got people who have established taverns and nightclubs, and is it really safe for me to be out there? Is it safe for me to be interacting with all those male figures and everybody out there? But we're overcoming these things. I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by people who support my hustle and who also support they support women. They support women. They also want us to grow. They also want to see us be ourselves, be independent. So I'm very fortunate to have the circle that I have around me. So yeah.
Okay, so one of the pointers that I'd like to speak on is fear of failure, which has been at the top prior of my anxiety since I started Indlovu, guys. Reason being is because in our communities, in most cases, we see a lot of women that start a lot of things, but they normally just fade into it. We understand. So one year there was this lady hosting this event, or she was selling this, or she was about this kind of initiative. The next time I got sick, and things have just faded into it. So that is one of the challenges that I always try and motivate myself ukuthi I'm not going to be a one-time hit wonder. I'm going to make Indlovukazi work regardless of the circumstances that I have to come across as a young woman, obviously, regardless of the fact that they're going to question my wisdom, they're going to question my knowledge. How does she think that she can have 150 women under one hall when we know women are so difficult? They're not easy to get along, especially in our Black communities. So how does she think ukuthi she's gonna get 150 women with no alcohol involved? So that is one of the things that always motivate me and push me with, what, I'm going to do this, and with the pandemic that is happening, Indlovukazi always has to be postponed. Last year, I postponed it, but unfortunately I was pregnant. I couldn't host it at all later in the year because I was just a new mom just after things eased up. And this year, just as I was about to do it again in August, there we go again. We are back to level 4. So as you're sitting, you're thinking, should I just let this go? Because each and every single time I hit this spot, I have to start all over again to number 1. But again, I'm like, no, this time I'm doing it. I don't care. Even if we have to do it on the 31st of December, we're going to do it as long as it's something that I'm going to be doing on 2021. Even if 000 to 2022 hits and I'm in that hole trying to motivate one young Black woman, I'll do it as long as it has to take. Like, I push myself that it must happen. If I don't do it, no one else will come through for me. No one is going to come and save me and say, I'll take over from where you started. I started this journey, and I'm definitely going to make sure that in 10 years to come, it is something more beautiful and more bigger than what it has already started to be.
Yes, I love the spirit. Pukwan, is your connection okay now? Yeah?
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yo. Okay, guys, I'd like you to share with me and with the viewers your proudest moments in your business journey. Well,
is she not coming back? Shame, man.
She's coming back, but Yamu somebody.
Shame. Ask Keith. What do you want us to do?
Share your proudest moment.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, no, in the morning.
Okay, you can share your inputs there.
With regards to what everybody else was saying, I was just saying, you mentioned a thing about sexism, and it's one thing that I battle with, and I wanted to say that I walked away from a deal that was extremely lucrative because of the male ego. You've got to choose your battles. You need to understand what it is that you stand for as a woman. And the minute you crack, the slightest of crack, then you're gone. Then you become, somebody said on the radio, you start having carpet interviews. I don't know if you guys understand that. Do you guys understand a carpet interview, where this is where you sell yourself to the highest bidder because you want to get somewhere. So you need to choose what it is. Yes, men will always sideline, but just be smart and know your worth. When you show them that you know your worth, it's easy for you to walk away from the table and create your own table. That's what I'm about. So if you don't know who you are and what your worth is, then you're gonna have problems. But it's true, it's happening, and it has happened to me a lot of times, where I get to a meeting and a guy just wants to ask you out. They just, oh yeah, no, let's meet for dinner. Let's talk about it at dinner. I'm like, you know what? I've got enough food at home. If you're not interested, then you might as well just leave it. So know what you're about. And it's painful because now you go home. Somebody said you need to show money. Okay, you've gone out. What exactly are you bringing home? And you bring home tears. And then they say, is it really worth it? So it's important to be strong mentally. You train yourself, you brainwash yourself, you condition yourself so that you know who you are and what you're about. So it's very difficult sometimes working with men taking advantage of you, but you've just got to stand your ground. That's me. Stand your ground, and your turn will come. I know it's not easy, but it does eventually come.
You have to grow thick skin in this industry.
Yes.
And can you share with us your proudest moments in your business journey before you cut off?
My proudest moment right now is being given 100 hectares of land where there are no politics. These are people that believe in me and they believe in what I'm trying to achieve. And being internationally recognized, I find that your foreign investors have, they don't know me. They don't know me from a bar of soap, but by merely reading my work and understanding where I want to go, for me is an absolute achievement. So just making a positive change, being a Black woman, and probably the first Black woman that will be doing biodiesel. So that is just that land for me. It's a phenomenal achievement.
Yes, girl.
Yes, girl.
Wow, that's awesome, mate. And Jamila, can you share yours?
For me, I think my most proudest moment was when I got a text from a young girl who is, I think, aged 17, early in the morning around 5 o'clock. And she said she's always wanted to go to her matric dance, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, she can't attend due to poverty at home. I don't want to put it as poverty, but due to certain backgrounds, she can't go to her MD, and she's a top achiever at school. She's done very well, and this would actually mean so much more to her. So what I did, I went on my socials and I went hungry looking for people to come through and let's make this girl's dream come true in only 6 hours. Had to pay the banquet in 6 hours, had to find a dress, had to make sure that her makeup was done, had to make sure that her hair was done. But I did it, I did it. The time came for her banquet, and all what that was just waiting for her at the gate was a beautiful car waiting to just take her to her banquet. And she only texted me at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this was 3 p.m. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what Indlovukazi is about. Behind the scenes, this is what we do. We don't do it for anybody else, but to make sure that every single young Black woman gets a little saving from us, saving grace, because that could have been a scar for the rest of her life. She could have made it in life eventually, but she would never forget the fact that she went to school for 12 years and could not just enjoy one banquet of her life in high school. So that's what I did. So that was my proudest moment. I don't want to lie.
Nice. I love it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Miss Jones.
Hi. Okay, my most proudest moment is, my most proudest achievements would be my annual Women's Month Saucy Gang events that I have been hosting from 2018. I hosted the first annual in 2018, the second one in 2019. As hard as it was, the first one was not that successful. I mean, the turnout, because it was the first one, that I'd say the turnout was good, but not that successful. And you don't give up, then you keep on going. So my proudest moment was when I hosted my second one, and I will keep on hosting them until I reach a point where I feel like it's actually, doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is, the primary motivation behind this initiative is bringing women together. By me, a woman, women don't generally support each other, and I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see. So the pulling down syndrome is really hectic, and it has to stop. It has to stop, ladies. Men succeed because they collaborate. They push each other. and they succeed far beyond their expectations. Because of that, they've got each other's backs, you know. So now we have this engraved DNA within us to sabotage each other, you know. So that needs to change. So Sosi Gang is about that, where I host women, or a woman-only production, you know, from artists, DJs, only female artist lineup. The production is headed by women. I've got the administration, the marketing is on the ground as women. So I just want to push that woman force, you know, that support, that coming together of women with this event. And I'm not going to stop until the dream it has fully become alive and impactful, and it is able to shift the narrative that women are not for each other. And I believe that we can do more together, you know, hence this live stream that Molesh has hosted. I've learned so much from I'm sorry I keep on calling you Molesh, but you know,
It is what it is.
it's what it is. It ain't what it was. Anyway, so I've learned a lot from you ladies, and I wish we could have more of these, you know, conversations. We need to keep on talking about these challenges and how to overcome them. I know some people are watching us right now and they are learning, you know, so it has to be like a constant learning process. We have to keep on, you know, teaching each other and supporting each other, and being able to depend on each other as women. You know, we need to learn from the guys. That's been my chat for as long as I've been in business. I've seen a pattern where guys, when they collaborate, man, you know, look at guys who are in the music industry, like your hip hop guys. You get a new artist every year because he was on a Casper Vest collaboration, or Casper Vest or an AKA, you know, video for that matter. And then they took that opportunity and ran with it, you know. So if we could collaborate, I've been knocking on doors all my life, you know, to a point where I've approached people like Bozintle to say, look, can we do this together? You know, listen, can we do this together? And I believe that if we had done more together ages ago, we would have achieved so much together. So, yeah, that's my 2 piece. Yeah.
Tulu's having network connection, guys, and there's a video I'd like to share with you guys. I hope it will inspire you guys, and it will motivate you guys, and it will also inspire the viewers as well. So here it goes.
When you are struggling and you start thinking about giving up, I want you to remember something that my husband and I have talked about, something that has carried us through every moment, and that is the power of hope. The belief that something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it. It is our fundamental belief in the power of hope that has allowed us to rise above the voices of doubt and division, of anger and fear. Our hope that if we work hard enough and believe in ourselves, then we can be whatever we dream, regardless of the limitations that others may place on us. The hope that when people see us for who we truly are, maybe, just maybe, they too will be inspired to rise to their best possible selves. Be focused. Be determined. Be hopeful.
Hi guys,
Can you say
I'm battling with my network. I'm battling.
Please. So let's just continue. Don't stress about it.
Okay.
So yeah, just share with us your proudest moments in your business journey.
Sure. Okay. So you guys know my business is very young. It's still in its infancy. So for me, it's really been about my small little wins that have come about. From the first time I held my bottle, from the first time somebody ordered a case of wines to the first time I ordered 10 cases from my supplier. The first function that I had, my first wine tasting where my stock was sold out. So for me, it's really been all these little wins, and hopefully we're building up to this one massive win. I really am proud to have started this journey, even with its challenges. It's really been such an amazing journey so far. And I celebrate all of my wins. I'm sitting here getting calls almost every second day asking for stock, and I don't have stock because I'm sold out. People are loving my product. And for me, that is really a proud moment. So yeah, cheers to more proud moments.
Yay.
Do you have stock now?
Yes, girl.
Do you have stock?
Guys, I'm sold out.
Na something na somewhere.
For myself, can you imagine?
I'm walking to your house right now.
And I think this is a learning curve for me also, that not to have just enough. I need to make sure I have more than enough. We're learning. It's a journey, it's a process, and with every challenge that I'm faced with, I just need to keep learning from it.
Yeah.
So my last question before we close this session, how do you guys feel about people who think that your pricing is too high for the service or the product you're offering? So who wants to start?
Clearly, I'm not your target market.
No, guys, the funny thing is I had to
Cheap things are expensive.
Like you're saying, when I'm Miss Jones, you're not my target market. At first I got so much backlash about, no, you're too expensive. No, I mean, you're just a baby. We don't know you. We don't know your wines. Why are you pricing them at this point? It's really a challenge, but I suppose you also have to look at what you're trying to achieve. What does your brand say? Who are you and what are you trying to achieve? What experience are you trying to give everybody? And, when you're doing your pricing, honestly, if you can't afford it, then you really
don't
not my target market. Not that I don't want, but also with the products I'm offering, I'm hoping that one day it becomes something that people can aspire to, where you want to be saving your coins so that you can actually be able to buy this. You might not be my target market right now, but hopefully, as the future comes along, you are able to, be one of my regulars. So don't be despondent, guys. When somebody says you're priced too high, don't lower your prices.
Targets.
Don't lower your standards, man. I think also I've encountered a lot of those because promoters and club owners, they automatically put a price tag on you just because you're a woman and you're a female DJ and whatnot. So they automatically have a budget for it, and they feel like that's what you're worth, And I don't want to lie, I've taken most of unfortunately, I've taken most of those offers because of the passion that I have for what I do. We would do anything to be behind the decks, especially when you do what you love. So they would take advantage of the love that we have. And like I said, put a price tag for us. So until I got to a point where you eventually see your worth and the work that you have put in all these years, and you ask yourself, you've been working all these years for 500? Nah, you have to evaluate your your brand
Your
and where
worth.
you want to go. Like Tulu just said, it's about what you want to achieve and which target market you want to reach. So it's about the reach. So you have to decline some of the offers, for you to achieve where you want to go, for you to get to where you want to go. Unfortunately, you have to bite the bullet and say no. So that's where I am right now. So if you don't see me on posters anymore, that means they don't want to pay
At all.
It's not like I'm not getting bookings. They don't want to pay. Yeah.
Okay, with me, because Indovgas is still so small, pricing with me is always fairly reasonable. I've never went as high as over 150 or 100 rand for a ticket. But just to add on what Tulu said, if you don't believe in your brand, no one else will. So it is not about anything else, but it's about saying it proudly that born a bottle 500, and it's a take it or leave it kind of situation, because once you set the bar to what your product is about, then no one else will actually ever devaluate you. No one will come and tell you 500 ingada. So if I'm not trying to compare, but if B&G can come and say for 4 cans you're going to be paying 200 rand, that's it, non-negotiable. Why can't you do it? Because the more confidence you have in your brand, the better the chances of you actually winning at it. So you can't be here selling bottles of registered Hall for 23 rand. Nobody gonna buy that because they can actually go to ShopRite and get it. You understand? So it's also about black excellence. It's about also reaping the fruit of what you have started at the very start of it. So it's more of you believing it. I work for a cell phone brand that is very new, and I've had customers say, but I don't know it. And why is it so expensive? But I'm like, well, you are gonna know about it in the future. But for now, this is me saying go and make it 8,000 and take it or leave it.
I'm with you 100%. And I'd like to share with you guys this message. Your price will disqualify the ones who can't afford you. It doesn't mean your price is too high. It only means that your business, you need to do, those people need to do business with people that are within the budget zone. You know what I mean? Because if someone cannot afford your product, clearly they're not your target market. And you remember how Kiman, that guy, Mark Hossel, that brand, he got so much backlash because people were like, yo, his products are so expensive and all that and all that. He knew his worth and he knows that his quality is proper, So if you can't afford it, bye. What are your thoughts, P?
I like I don't know if you heard me earlier. I said cheap things are expensive. So I don't negotiate. I am the one that wakes up in the morning. It's my brain cells. It's my time. I don't have money for Botox, and so it's important that you know your worth. And if you're going to consult for 15,000 rands or whatever the case may be, but remember, you need to match. If you're going to say 10,000, match the 10,000. Don't be mediocre. Don't come with with your what nonsense. Do not be mediocre. Look the part, be the part, speak the part. Then I'll pay. And that's how I take myself. I am the part. I speak the part. I'm all about that life. So it's either you hop on my boat, or you can and you can swim the ocean. I couldn't be bothered. So it's all about, you need to, because the thing is that I mean peanut butter. You still want to eat peanut butter. I don't want to eat Albany. I want to eat gluten-free bread, and gluten-free bread is expensive, So you also need to know, you also have to live, man. Live a little, like enjoy the finer things in life. So don't settle for anything less. If you can't take it or eat it, then nobody else should. Cheap things are expensive. That's my thing.
Yeah. I was listening to this. I listened to a lot of consultants, and I learned from that. And I really resonate with what you said because literally that's what they say. You know what I mean? You can't be saying, I'm charging 200 and then what, and just because you want customers. The minute customers come in rolling, you want to increase your prices, and people are going to be like,
Yes.
and you know,
What?
why? So that guy was like, if you have a standard, keep to that standard. The people will rise to it at the end of the day. That's it. It's tough. It's tough, but yeah, that's how we operate. So, guys, thank you so much for being part of this Business is the Chat session. I enjoyed our conversation, and I hope we can have another one, have a catch up session actually, with all the ladies. It's unfortunate that Vanity couldn't be here and Shanika couldn't be here as well. Hopefully, we'll have them at our next catch up session. So, guys, I wish you all the best, and I wish you more money, because we love money. That's what we're doing this thing.
Yes. It's all about the money.
We have a passion. We have a passion
Yes.
for being entrepreneurs and making a difference. The money follows.
Yeah.
So next week I'm going to be hosting a panel of guys. Guys, please tune in. It's going to be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to it because you know what? At the end of the day, we learn from the guys. They do it better. You know what I mean? So I think they are the guys. Guys, we look up to guys because they have a certain drive and ambition. I literally want to know what is it they do differently that we can learn from and grasp. Obviously, we are also new in this whole entrepreneur thing, and we are a small pool, and we want to get to where they're at. So I'm looking forward to the guys next week. I'm excited. So guys, I hope you will tune in.
Definitely.
Yes, we will. Thank you, Lebo. Thank you for the platform. It was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, ladies.
Thank you, ladies.
It was
Bye.
a pleasure meeting you guys. Bye, everyone.
Much pleasure, Tulu. Next time, stack up under the mattress, Tulu. We can't be dry when you sell wine.
I need to come. My wines need to be in your gift packages at your next seminar. All right.
Definitely, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.